Hello, Riblets. It's me, Tom, from Target Prime Rib. How you guys doing? Hey, Feral Grandma and Sandy. How you guys doing today? Oh, we also got um, Rick and Tanya. Oh my God. So I'm hoping you guys are still here. I can see that you guys were on about an hour ago, and same in 42 minutes for Sandy. But I'm here now. So let me know if you're still in the chats. Hey Lisa. Oh, and here's Bacon Baby. How you doing? Oh, this is cool. This is really cool. So I hope you guys had a good weekend. Cool, Sandy. I'm glad. So I know Bacon Baby, Lisa, and Sandy are all here because it's within a few minutes. And it says about 10 people are watching, so I'm assuming everybody's actually here. So I do appreciate you waiting. I'm I actually have my here. Let me turn it around. My sister gave me this. Life is tough, but so are you. And I'm in pretty good spirits. Hey, Tanya. So, I wanted to express my gratitude for Wendy, Tanya, and Jane. Thank you so much for the Buy Me a Coffees. I am so appreciative of it. You don't know how much. Okay, so Granny Boo, thank you. Kitchen Witch, thank you. And today, too, Jane, I don't really know what your channel is. I just know you from Jane when you do the Buy Me a Coffees. So, you know, yes, Carnivore Cash. And thank you for coming. I think you've been on before, but I don't remember. So if you haven't, welcome, Carnivore Cash. I know I've seen you several times, but I just don't remember if it's from here or from Rick. I think it was actually Rick's channel. So thank you for coming, and I appreciate it. You um, I just got a Instagram message from that you guys would like to know. I just got an Instagram message from. I'm sure you guys have heard of him, Peter Norse Carnivore, asking if we would want to connect channels and chat sometime. I'm not sure exactly how to connect channels and chat, except for just do live. But I am that is actually it. That sounds actually really good. Oh, okay. So I probably saw you on Homestead How or Doctor Kilt. I usually do both. So there's not really not much I don't look at. You know. That's right. That's where I saw you. Thank you, Carnivore Cash. Welcome. I saw you on Carrie. Yes. Your name is Cash Growth. Am I right? It was kind of funny. Like you were telling Carrie how to pronounce your name, and he kept pronouncing it wrong. He's like Groth. Cool, cool. So, as you can tell, I'm in pretty good spirits right now. I was a little temporarily. I mean, my depression is sort of getting less and less. Uh, but I'll tell you why I felt the way I did. I actually worked overnight last night. I got home around 6 a.m. So haven't been to bed yet because it was more important that I be here now, and I knew that if I went to bed, I probably would not wake up in time. So I'm not really groggy. I'm actually pretty good, but um, and I'll go to bed eventually. And it's probably good that I don't go to bed right away because then my body kind of goes into an abnormal state. So when my body needs to go to bed, that's when I'll go to bed. So I I normally it's just me and the deli person that works, and and I do what I can. I can't. There's still things I can't do. There's still I can't like run around like a Mad Hatter, and they're supposed to know that. They're supposed to know, and technically, I'm supposed to, whenever I need to, I am supposed to be able to sit down and just rest my legs a little bit, or at least lean, stop. But it's not supposed to be running around. Just get the stuff done that needs to get done. Well, my manager came in, and she starts piling all this stuff on me. And I'm going like, I'm kind of going slow because my body is just running out and I'm not able to rest. And she goes to me and she says about how I'm not working hard enough and how I need to start doing better and everything, and starts blaming me on stuff that has happened, like messes and stuff like that, when I know for a fact I kept the store clean and you know and ship shape. And um oh, hey Bob, how you doing today? Where I kept where I kept the store nice and ship shape. I and I do what I can. Like I said, I do what I can, and sometimes I try to push it a little bit and do a little bit more, but I need to be the one pushing it. And she's telling me that I'm causing all these problems, causing when these problems were always existent. Like there's a lot of things that people don't. Whenever they do nights, other people, there's things that they don't do that I actually do that's supposed to be done. Like you would think logically, an overnight would have to put papers out because you know, I mean, I don't really read the paper anymore, but I'm sure a lot of you that do, I'm sure expect it to be out by early morning, like first thing, so that you can go and grab it. Well, not have to put it out at 9 o'clock in the morning, and you know, and so I just was a little, when I was told that I'm not working hard enough, when I was told, it's sort of like because I mean, we all know that I've mentioned a few times that financially I don't really need the job. It's not really, yes, it's a little extra money, and heck, the things I can do with that money is astronomical. But it's not like an absolute. Like even without it, I'm still able to save like $100, $200. Things that I would probably sacrifice is if I wanted to get more steaks. Like I'd have to get like all I could really get is like $100 worth of steaks every month, which whoa, like poor me, I can't get more than that. I can't go to the higher brands, or I can't, but also the savings, for me to save for, there are things that I want, but there's not necessarily things that I need, if that makes any sense. And so it's not really something that like, oh my God, I have to have this job. And to tell you the truth, the only reason why was doing it was because it seemed like they needed me. They, I mean, she gets about 10, like 7 people. Sorry, I say 10, but actually it's about 10 now. When I first found out, she had 7 people quit on her within a couple of weeks. Okay. And and everything. And that's why she's using me. Now, I suspect she'd rather have me working full time and everything like that. But she's treating me like someone, like she's doing me a favor. And to tell you the truth, she's not doing me any favors. I could care less, So I think I just got a little depressed, a little mad that it's like, okay, did I do it? Did I choose to do this for nothing? But the thing is I got to keep my head, and I'm sort of being guaranteed by one person that things are going to be better when I get back from vacation, back from Boston. Things are going to be better. So I don't know what that means. I have a feeling it means because I think that person came in to replace her. So things may be better. You know, this person might be more understanding. This person, he does seem to kind of roll like, a little bit, be a little bit, he's the assistant manager, and he seems to be a lot more accommodating than, at first I thought he was not good because she spread a rumor or she told a lie that made him look bad. He's the one that I thought uh, pretty much, told her that I never worked. And we all knew that was wrong. And it ends up that he didn't tell her that. He just said he didn't work on Monday, which was absolutely true, but we've already known that and everything. So, um, I think he kind of understands that I am limited. I'm getting better every day, but that I am limited, and I know where my limitations go, and not to push them. You know, and and like I said, I mean, you guys see it. You guys see this push-ups I do and everything, but those are bouts of energy that I get. And as I'm getting that energy, the first thing, as soon as I get that bout of energy, a thought comes in my head. Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to try some push-ups, or I'm going to try the planks. Let me see how far I get. And each time, I actually like, well, I got to record it because if it's really good or semi good, then oh, thank you, Bacon Baby. That's pretty nice of you. Did you see me on Homestead How too? But I just take the camera and film it. And it's not perfect, but it's just filming it. Now, I'll be honest with you. If I don't exceed what my last one was, even by a little bit, I probably, I probably wouldn't send that film out. If I can't go past that threshold. But yeah, I agree with you. And the thing is like think about it, I'm not a full time person. It's not the full time job. My main income is not this. I still get the disability, and I'm not ready to work full time. I'm not ready to work, you know, like I could probably work more than 16 hours, but there's no way I could work 40 hours or work more, and I want to be able, um, oh, okay, Bacon Baby. I think I was briefly on Kilts too, so you might, I forget when I was on. Oh yeah, the other day he did, like where people come on, like just really quick, like tell your story a little bit. And so I didn't really talk much with Kilts, but I was there, you know. So, it's just funny how, you know, like if I'm needed so much, just leave me alone. Just let me do my job. My job basically is to make coffee and do the register, and to clean certain things, but it's not to, I mean, they're like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this. Didn't you ever do this? Like, why don't you do this? Why aren't you? I'm like, you know, like, like, it's just, I mean, if I can do it, I'll do it. But yeah, I don't know. I got to figure out a plan, figure out, because I did find out that there's a little less running around usually when I'm working at night. The only reason I ran around a lot last night is because she was on and she was like causing me to have to run around. And, it almost felt like she was doing it on purpose because, it's like she keeps on, like, I don't know. I think she's just a jerk. Like, she likes to lie. She has, I mean, I'm not going to name names, but give her your name or anything like that, but she has been. A lot of people told me that she lies a lot, and yes, she does. You know. So I started watching. Change the subject. I started watching the new movie, the new documentary Animal. Okay. I know Terry Sue started watching it, and obviously Mitch started watching it. Did anybody here? I haven't finished it, so don't give it away. I have a feeling it has to do a lot with eating meat. Just kidding. I know it has to do it, but did anybody here actually see the movie Animal? And while we're at it, I'm going to put the link in for you guys, for anybody to say hello. So I didn't put it in before, and I do apologize on that. Okay. So how'd you like it, Feral Grandma? I was on the fence too, but then so many like kilts and Alia, and it's like, did you watch it yet? Are you watching it? So I was like, you know what? As long as I kind of did a little trick. I don't have Amazon, okay, but they're giving away for a free month of Amazon Prime, the video, okay. So between you and me, I don't plan on keeping it because I have no need for it. But I will watch the movie once or twice. Like the rental lasts for a certain amount of time, and I'll watch it as well as I can. I'll be honest with you. I kind of fell asleep for like 5 minutes, so I missed like 5 minutes of it. So I'll have to like watch it again. And I have about 20 minutes left on it right now. But yeah, I mean, I just did the $5 and just rented it. Normally, I wouldn't do that for anything else, but I just thought, so many people are, and there's so many people on there that, I mean, Dr. Kills was on there, Dr. Barry, Dr. Chafee, Dr. Baker, um, Judy Cho, Dr. Oh God, Eric. I forget his last name all of a sudden, but so many doctors, um, people that I've seen before, and obviously I know Dr. Kiltz. I know I've talked to Dr. Baker and Dr. Chafee. So now, oh, Wendy, does she regret renting it? Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. And as good as the movie is, I mean, so far it's nothing that we don't already know as carnivores. But the movie wasn't made for us, so to speak. The movie was made for people that don't really understand what's going on with carnivore. At least that's how I take it. But the thing is most of the people going to be watching it would be us. Um, most people that don't understand the concept, you know, um, if it's not, especially if like people have to pay for it. Like, I know my family, I love them, but I know that they're not going to rent a movie if it's something that they don't think they're interested in. I rented it because guess what? I'm interested in this concept, as most of us are. Okay, so yeah, I mean that's true, federal grandma. I mean, if they're watching their budget, but since the one thing I can do, since I am the one good thing about working for me is I do have some extra money, and actually, you know, the generosity, I have a little extra money for the trip, so I can actually put $5, aside. even though I didn't really need to do that. I had the extra $5, so I used it to rent the movie. Now, the funny thing is, I think purchase is only $10, so it's like, okay, for just two rentals, I could actually just purchase it. That is true. That is true. I mean, I still think it was a good thing. I still think it's a good investment. It's good to see, even though we really don't need it too much. I think it's good to remind us why are we doing what we're doing too. But I think it's more valuable to the people that really need it. Need that kick in the head a little bit that says, like, you've been thinking the wrong thing all this time. You gotta love Lisa, right, Sandy? Yeah, exactly. Feral grandma. Sandy is kind, and she's one of the nicest people I know that's in the carnivore community, and that's saying a lot because a lot of people in carnivore are pretty nice. Yeah, I have to admit that I never was really good at having friends or people that and I would say it quadrupled since I started carnivore with all you guys. So I appreciate that. So we got 13 people watching today. I mean, that's including you guys too. So I'm guessing, if you're on here, I guess you are watching, right? So I'm going to keep on putting. Now, I am not putting, in case you guys are wondering, and I don't see why you would be, but just in case, I am not putting buy me a coffee because you guys have already been very generous, and I'm not going to solicit. Uh, that is true. That is true. True. How did Carrie find him in the first place? So that's the fact that they found each other is pretty cool. You know. Actually, I do have I agree with you, Sandy. I don't really have friends in real life. My closest friends are my family, but I do have people that I know. I have people that I associate with, but I'm pretty stringent when it comes to friends. I mean, I don't have a huge requisite, but I am probably more stringent. Like, I don't just easily say, "Oh, you're my friend. You're my friend." Like, you know. So today is pretty hot. I don't know how it is for you guys. I heard one of you guys or saw one of you guys say that it was raining, um, which it doesn't seem to be raining here, but it is very humid. Like, it's funny. Like, I have the air on 76. Well, actually, I had it on 74, but someone keeps on changing it on me. But the actual temperature, that's reading at about 85. So there's a fight on there, and even though we have the laundromat and everything like that, it's not like even. Well, that's cool, Sandy. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know the exact. Actually, let me find out. Okay. I'm going to Google it. What is the temperature? No, hell if it was. What is the temperature?
It's 86 degrees in Wall Township right now. There is currently a heat advisory in effect.
Okay, did you hear that? It's 86 degrees right now, and there's a heat advisory in effect. So, and for some reason, I'm not feeling the air from the air conditioner. I had to turn the fan on, both fans, my ceiling fan and my floor fan. Yes, Tanya, you have friends all over the world. It's a small world. See that? It is a small world. Okay. Hey, Terry B, how we doing? Yeah, that's true. I mean, you kind of like miss the target when you. Okay, so if anybody has any channels, um, Carnivore Cash is asking that you post them here so then he can. Well, you're also Mitch Fit, Tanya, and a booby goater, and a duckling or a quacker, whatever they call it, whatever Rick's. I forget what we are with Rick. I'm sorry, Rick. Yes, I believe Carnivore Cash is cash growth. Growth. Sorry, I just did what Carrie did. I'm sorry about that. Growth. The Quack Pack. Okay, I like that. I like that. It's like instead of the Rat Pack, we're the Quack Pack. Iguanation. And what is Bill called Carrie Man? The group for Carrie Man? The Man Tribe or something like that? Or well, thank you, Lisa. So I'm going to post it again. I'm going to try to stay under an hour. I have about 3 hours left of my allotment for the month, and I want to do like just an hour for the next 3 days, and then I'm going to probably go to and then do with YouTube, but unless I decide to do something else, I don't know. But if I do YouTube, then I can't really have guests on, so and we'd have to do it from the phone as well, which would be fine. We could do it from the phone. I mean, once July hits, then it would probably reset and go right back. So just have to, you know, and after July, then we're just going to do 1 hour um, shows, and maybe not do as many, not do every day. Take a break in between. I'm thinking of taking a break definitely Saturday and Sunday, and then I'm thinking of taking a break on Wednesday for this particular group. Because, hey, Lash, how we doing? I mean, it's amazing all the people that come on here. You don't know. I mean, I have a lot to thank for Carnivore because I don't think I if you asked me 6 months ago if I would have my own channel and that I'd have people coming on to say hello to me on a pretty much daily basis, uh, and such great people, I would be like, if you asked me this a year ago, I definitely would be like, there's no way, you know, there's no way. So I'm gonna put this out there again. If anybody is interested, I still like to do those interviews on Wednesdays, and I'm trying to figure out a way I can do them a little bit more often than twice a month. Um, but if anybody is interested, let me know. I can. Sorry, I have like this like a fetish. Whenever I see my email, like some new email come in, I just have to quickly really check. So it's not that. Um, let me know, and and I'm going to send my email to you guys. All right. Um, and there it is right there, tpruitt40@gmail.com. Just send me an email that you'd like to do, and then we'll go over a schedule. That'd be which Wednesday would be the best, and we'll go from there. Like I said, right now I just do it twice a month, 2 Wednesdays a month, and let you know what Wednesdays are. Now I have August and July are already filled up. Not thank God, but thankfully they're already filled up. So my next one's going to be in September. Now, if it ends up that I might, with all this going on, I might have to do a little investing. So, well, the whole thing is, Lisa, is you just you're given basically how it works is we're going to do for 2 hours, okay, and the thing is going to be dedicated to you. All right, say, and so you can do those 2 hours any way you want, you know. But if you have a story to tell and you want to, because I feel that people probably need more than just 1 hour. I mean, look at Helen. She had a huge story to tell, and we went a little over. We went about 2 hours and 20 minutes. So I I think that would be very apropos, so to speak. So so you're still well. I mean, right now it's just conversation, but then it would be more like, we would talk, yes, and we conversate, and it'd be questions and answers and stuff like that. But and then if you only last for a half an hour, then the other hour and a half is going to be what we could do roundtable. But for the most part, you're given 2 hours. So if we go like Helen, we didn't do a roundtable because she used the whole 2 hours. Um, you know, some people do, some people don't. But it's out there, for anybody that would like to, just email me and at tpruitt40@gmail.com. Um, and and basically, I just want it to be another platform for you to tell your story and to tell a little bit more, you know, and that's what's really important to me. I mean, I love doing I love doing the videos, I love doing the channel and everything like that. But what really is to be able to engage. The more I engage, then the more intrigue. If I don't have any engagement, then I start getting a little bit like, okay, why am I doing this? What's going on? If I have engagement with you guys and in other ways, then I pretty much, like every single time I'm able to speak, like even like in bigger groups, like even when we're on Zoom calls, I'm able to speak. My adrenaline goes up a little bit, in a good way. And and that feeling doesn't last because it's like sort of like talk and then shut up, and it's just the way it is. It's the nature of the beast. But I love to be on more panels, other than like with Carrie Mann or with whoever. I love to be part of that. But that tells me that, hey, I am going somewhere. Like when Lindy asked me to go on to help her out, and even though she asked like other people too, I still felt pretty honored because it's not like I volunteered to go on. She asked me to go on, and that was very honorable. About a couple of months ago. So I feel like I'm getting more and more, and that's because of you guys, and because of that. And and even if you don't, like Lisa, even if you don't want to go on and you feel that you're not, that which you are, you're worthy. But even if if there's somebody, if you just want to pass the word. you know so well, if you can Carnivore Cash, and anybody, just type it in. If you can type your channel into the chats, I can't say that they would be able to click it from here. I don't know, but they can at the very least copy it down. Or let me see if I can do something. No, I can't. It goes right over. Let me see. All right, so this is a message from Lisa. All right, so what I want to check and see. No, okay. I was hoping I could like highlight it and then copy it, and then I could paste it. So if I do the pasting, then it might become a link, if that makes any sense. I wasn't sure. Okay, so I'm going to put this in on the thing. All right. So anyone that is interested, um, this is his YouTube channels. The first one is at Carnivore Cash, and the other one's a little bit more faith based. That's at Nobody's Fault podcast. So you put them in and check them out. Okay. And I mean, obviously, Carnivore Cash, that's easy. Just the guy's name, basically. You made it back home, Rick? That's cool. That's really cool. So we got about 20 minutes left, a little less. So I put the thing in the chat one more time, just in case anybody. So I will be back tomorrow, and like I said, we're going to start. I think I'm going to start just for the rest of the month. I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm not sure why, but he's having troubles opening the door. So just wanted to. Sorry about that, guys. He like I might just do because in a couple of days I'm not going to be able to do like where people can come on. So at least until July. So now if you do want to come on, now is the time to do that today and tomorrow. So okay. So does anybody have any questions for me or anything? Put this on the thing. Oh, that's very nice, Tanya. I appreciate it. Got somebody coming on. Oh, that's very nice, Tanya. I appreciate it. There he is.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, even if I don't talk?
Not now.
Okay, so Lisa says, iron sharpens iron. Do unto others. It's what I was taught. Okay. I just love to be encouraging, and one day I won't struggle. I just get lost in my thoughts. The would've, should've, could've's attitude. Yeah. I mean, I think we all kind of do that a little bit,
Not really.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said the word kind of. Yeah. But, I mean, do you feel you have regrets ever there, Rick? Or no?
I just figure I did what I could at the time. There's really nothing else I could have done.
Yeah, that's true. Um, I know, and as I get better on the diet and everything like that, I'm getting less and less regrets. You
Mm-hmm.
kind of like like I wish I didn't, you still question things, but you're still, the regrets are like, I made the decision I made, and this is what I'm going to do, and I can change it at any time.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, how about Milton? Does he get regrets? No.
Well, he's outside the door right now. I blocked him out for a little bit. He'll be climbing all over me.
So he's regretting you went outside before you close the door.
Yeah, that's what all that meowing is about. This microphone's good at hiding it, but there's a lot of meowing in the door.
I was going to say I can't really hear it, but yeah.
Yeah.
I can't speak for the others, but I can't hear it. And I wouldn't dare speak for the others.
I open that door and the Toro will come running in.
Yeah. He like I said, he's a lot like my old cat. Like I couldn't keep the door open when I slept because he used to like wake me up by like hitting me in the face. Like he would take his paw, like it's like dude, can I please have the extra 5 minutes? So,
They want to be fed. They'll be insistent.
yeah. And I woke up early enough. It's just he just yeah, they are pretty consistent.
You want in, Milton? I'll let you in. Oh. Come on, Milton. Come on. You want in? Come on. Come on. Here we go. Come on, little Milton. Here goes a monster. Come on. There we go. Okay. The door is open. The monster will be here.
It's cool.
Here he comes. Come on, Milton. Can't keep him away.
So Sandy's asking you, did you find some meat?
Yes, I did. They have 5 packages of ground beef for $2.99 a pound, so I got all 5 of them, and I rode home. It's like a 5-mile ride to and from that Fresco y Mas. It's like a 10-mile ride.
Wow. So 10 miles round trip, you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I just got back a few minutes ago.
Excellent.
You know how that is. What?
So Kitchen Witch, I guess Milton's saying hello.
Yeah.
Kitchen Witch Tanya just said that she had a ferret named Pork Chop that would bite her toes when to wake her up while she was sleeping. Hello, Jill. How are we doing? Jill K just joined the chats.
Okay. Oh. I don't see the chat. Let me see. Oh.
If you put it on YouTube and just silence it, you should see it.
Watch the tail, Milton. It's a good cat.
Yeah, Milton's cute.
Mm-hmm.
Or like my mom used to call like her grandkids, he's a gerbil. They're adorable. He's a gerbil. You're like, we're not gerbils. What are you talking about?
Every time I get a cat, they become attached to me.
Yeah. Meat missing day here. Okay, Tanya.
See, the good thing is I got a deal on meat and I made a video to upload so they can get another bike ride today.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty good,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the one with the parking lot chicken. That's good.
That or the gas station chicken.
Okay. Gas station chicken, I'm sorry, yeah.
I got both. I got videos where I chase chicken around the parking lot, but I never video the part where I catch them.
Oh. Well, it would be kind of hard to like film it at the same time.
No, I have one of those.
Without dropping the camera?
I have a mount where you can put the camera on. You put it on your body, and then it usually stays on there.
Oh, okay. That's maybe it's something I should get.
Yeah, I mean, it's something, somebody gave it to me. I think JT was the one that gave it to me.
Okay.
Right, Milton? Yeah, that was back when he used to be on Kerry's channel. I don't see him anymore.
No, my memory's a little off. JT is that Poco Moonshine?
Yes. He
Okay.
always used to say, "Let's go."
I mean, I know who he is. I've seen him, but I never really watched his. I don't think I've really seen too many of his videos. I think the only one I saw was his wife doing a grocery haul
Mm-hmm.
one time, and that was pretty much, like he kind of stopped doing for quite a while.
He hasn't
And
been doing
I
videos.
did see him on Carrie when Carrie had a whole bunch of people on. He had the bacon outfit,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
I don't know. Maybe they had a falling out or something. They don't
I
seem
don't
to
know.
be friendly anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
That whole Carrie channel's gotten kind of strange, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine if they did like remember back in the 90s when they did the be like the where are they now, like the behind the scenes,
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they did that for him, like, like where is he now? What's going on?
Well, I want to do a video like that on some of the carnivores that have
Yeah.
disappeared.
Yeah, that'd be that would be good, like
Hmm.
you know? It's like
I got a list of people that were making carnivore videos that are now gone. They just vanished. Poof, gone.
yeah, just out of nowhere, I mean, there's
Hmm.
so many people that do carnivore. It's like, okay,
Yeah, that's right. I don't know what happened to them. They just disappeared. And then on top of that, I mean, look at the bigger groups now are so big. They have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And it's like Carrie's channel. He doesn't even say hi to me anymore. I'm the
yeah.
persona non grata of the carnivore
Well,
community.
except for fake Carrie, he says hi
Oh,
to
fake Carrie's a lot friendlier than the real Carrie. That's the funny thing, you know?
me.
Fake
Yeah,
Carrie always says hi,
I
Ray.
mean,
Real
I think it's
Carrie
funny what he's doing and everything like that. I just like, okay, why you get your own identity.
don't. Well, I don't know. I mean, it livens up the channel, but I'll tell you,
It does. For sure.
when we got Mitch on my channel, I was in doubt. I thought it was a fake Mitch, but it's a real
Right.
Mitch.
Well, the same thing happened on my channel too. I remember I didn't say anything, but I remember somebody on the channel was like, "Are you sure this is like when he came on my channel?" They're like, "Are you sure it's the real Mitch?" And Mitch that came onto my show actually came on,
Hmm.
actually showed himself because he's like, "Here's his proof. It's me."
Yeah,
Pretty much.
that's it.
Can't get any more proof than that.
Well, the thing is that I don't have a link where anybody could come on the show.
No, no, and so he had to do it a
Yeah,
different way, but it's
but
still.
I went and I clicked like he showed today. How when you have the admin access, you can just click the user and say go to channel, and if it goes to the real channel, it's a real deal. When I had the first Carrie, so-called Carrie, I clicked it and it was empty. It said no videos. So I'm like, okay, it's a fake channel. So I played along. I figured, hey, oh yeah, the documentary is back and forth. I had a good time with that.
It's, Jill, I can't wait to meet you in Boston either. So that's pretty cool.
I'm glad you're able to go. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy about it. I mean, it's one of the main reasons why I am working this stupid job. It's so I can go.
Yeah. Well, it's like me, my income is variable. I could make hundreds of dollars a day and then make nothing for several days. And then
Right.
I was down to my last 25 bucks. So instead of putting gas in my friend's car, I went to Fresco y Mas and I bought as much meat
You
as
bought
I
yourself
could.
some meat. Yeah,
So
it
now
makes
I
sense.
have $0 whatsoever. I'm totally empty.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is wait for the next job. I have probably 15 gallons of fuel in my van, but I'm not going to drive it until I get a job. That's the way I am. If somebody calls me to make money, then I'll go out. But if it's for my own stuff, I'll take the bike or I'll walk.
Right. That makes sense. That makes
Yeah,
sense. Yeah.
because I don't want to be like my friends that go into debt. They always say, well, you got to spend the money to make money. I'm like, yeah, when the opportunity's there, that's what I'll do. But for
Yeah.
everything else, I'm not going to.
It's true. Uh,
Right, Milton?
yeah. Once I figure out my shoes, my feet condition, I'm hoping to be able to start riding a bike myself. But
Yeah.
I just got to figure out how to keep my foot from flying off, and my shoe from flying off.
Right.
it kind of becomes a little, especially when you're like going on the highway or something like that, it kind of becomes a little problematic.
Yeah, you need some kind of shoe that you could strap on or something.
Yeah.
I guess I made pretty good time today.
Yeah, you did pretty well. You know, and I was thinking, I said like we're only going to be on for an hour, but if it goes a little bit longer, that's fine because we'll just do the rest of the week we'll just do like YouTubes and stuff like that. So it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe how much these things accumulate so quickly.
Yeah. This is weird.
But most of my lives were going on for like 2 hours at a time, so it's probably going to. I believe in anything you want to try. Okay, I don't know if I'd really say that too much.
Hmm.
I'm just joking. It's like I believe in you, Tom. We'll follow you everywhere. I don't know. What if I want to start a cult or something? Are you sure you want to follow?
You could start your own carnivore subscription service like everybody else does.
Yeah.
Give me $30 a month so I can tell you something you already know.
Yeah.
Goody.
Well, I do not plan on doing that. I'm sorry.
Good. Right, Milton?
I mean, my extent is really just if I get monetized from YouTube, great, and buy me a coffees, and I appreciate them a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not going to do a membership thing and stuff like that because I feel like I'm always disappointing people if I do that too. Like do I have to up my game?
Exactly.
And I mean, do you see Carrie's? I guess Carrie's not going to be doing too much of his videos. I think he's going to do
Yeah, he
some,
mentioned that.
but Jen's going to be taking over.
Yep. That might be an improvement.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
I think it'd be wonderful for Jen to take over.
I think what Carrie's main focus now is that documentary movie.
Yeah.
He wants to get that out there. He wants to be a producer, He wants to be like the carnivore producer. Problem is, I hate to say it, but it ain't going to go anywhere. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. No, I mean, hey Jackie, how you doing? Yeah. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I don't think it's going to go any further than any of the other movies, to tell you
No.
the truth. But it's for us, I think it's a good movie. Don't get me wrong. I think it's.
It's going to be an excellent movie. I guarantee that.
But it's only going to really benefit people that really don't know anything about this, and
right.
And the problem is getting them to watch it.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
And that's what Mitch was saying.
Yeah. No, Mitch is right. And Mitch is very analytical and very,
Yes.
Now, I don't know if Carrie has something up his sleeve that we don't know about, but I just can't see it,
No, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, Carrie's in the movie business to some extent. And I mean, if you own a movie theater, you're definitely into movies. I mean, there's no question about that. So he probably thought, hey, this is a good idea. And I know Alia, somebody else had suggested, I don't even remember who started this whole idea of a carnivore documentary, but it's
I thought he came up with it himself.
Oh, he came up with it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, other people might have said, yeah, that's a good idea, or you should run with it, and gave him the encouragement.
That's why he started the 12-hour and the 24-hour fundraisers,
Right.
which, we were in. And it was good. But then it sort of went on its own. It started out as, well, let's make a documentary, a basic one. And then it turned into, well, now we got to go to Netflix and now we got to do this and that and more effort and money. And
making it grow and grow and grow.
Making it grow and grow. And then the problem is, if it doesn't take, well, you just planted all those seeds, you grew a bunch of avocado trees, and then nobody wanted your fruit. It's like, now what? Yeah. What happened? All that time and effort. You would have been better off buying and starting a ranch and selling meat and maybe having some agro-tourism. That's what I would have done with
I
the
mean,
money.
the only thing, I mean, I agree with you on that concept, but the only thing is though, sometimes you just have to do what you need to do,
Well,
sometimes, like with me, like one of the things I gave up on was writing my book. Like I wrote a
mhm.
book when I was in high school and I gave up because so many people told me that it was stupid, and it became very hard for me to actually go back into it.
Mhm.
And the thing is I think, and I will go back into it eventually. It's just my brain just doesn't have that knowledge that I had when I was a kid. Ah, got somebody joining us. Can you
Oh,
guess?
wow.
Junior Quack.
I knew it. I knew there was a quack out there somewhere. Quack.
Can you see me?
I
I
can
can
see
see
you.
you, and well, now
Okay.
you're okay. Now you're better.
Look like you're in a washing machine.
Yes, you go all the way around.
Look at this shirt. Look at this. Can you see it? It
The
says
food pyramid,
Is
the
that a duck?
ultimate food pyramid.
no. It's a look. It's a
The chicken, pig, cow,
Oh, I
and
thought
what's
it
the
was a
bottom one?
duck on top. Okay.
yeah.
Well, you guys can think it's a duck. I think it's a chicken, but okay.
Parking lot chicken?
Pork and lot chicken.
Chicken is usually U-shaped, though, isn't it?
Um,
With the tail sticking up?
yeah. Look, show it again, Peter.
So how's the blood sugar today?
Blood sugar is pretty good. It's about 130, so it's
Okay.
still under the 150. So I haven't had to have the insulin. So it's
Did you take any Victoza today?
no.
So I would just like not take it unless your blood sugar goes above 160. I wouldn't take it at all.
Yeah, I mean, I had the threshold 150, but I can move it up to
Or I
160.
mean 150. I mean whatever your
Yeah. Oh no,
threshold
I'm just
is.
saying. I mean, it's. I mean, it actually went when I was at work. It actually did go. It went to about 154, and I'm like looking. I'm like, well, I'm at work. I can't take any insulin, so I just gotta wait. And
Did it go back
within
down?
yeah, within an hour, it went down to like 120.
Yeah. So I
So
think you're fine. Anything under 160, I bet you're fine.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And if you up your threshold to 160, I don't think you're. I think you're gonna be fine, and I think it'll just maybe peak for a little bit, but then come right back down under one. In the 120s,
right.
130s or less.
Yeah, like almost like hitting that, like on like a roller coaster or something like that. You hit that peak, and
Yeah,
then like
yeah, yeah,
and you're always thinking you're always thinking that you're going to hit your head and stuff like that on the ride, and then
yeah. But you're not. Your spikes are not. You're not getting that high
yeah,
anymore.
yeah. No,
So
my highest now is about one. Like I said, 154.
yeah, and that's
I
not
mean,
even
what
that.
what
That's
happens
not
when
even
I'm
that
sleeping, I
high.
can't say, but yeah. I mean, it just seems to be getting lower and lower every time. So
So
you're absolutely
back in the heyday, what were you hitting? What kind of numbers were you hitting back in the day?
back in the day. I would hit like closer to like the lowest would be like 350,
That's the
and
lowest?
that was the lowest. Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes I get really low numbers. I get like in the 200s and stuff like that.
That's
But most of
scary.
the time it was like
Wow. So
three.
so you were averaging what, 400
Yeah.
sugars?
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's
How's
just
it even,
crazy.
how's it even
Yeah.
possible?
I don't even I know. I don't know.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, we all know what downfall was. So
No toes.
Yeah.
yeah, and we also forget about the heel too. And that's what really makes my walking problematic is having 25% of the bone taken out.
Wow.
It's you know so I mean, it's like you get all these special shoes and everything, and you
I
know
don't I don't know how you could carry 50 pounds like that, but you're amazing.
thank you, thank you. I mean, I don't do it every day, but I you know actually, to tell you the truth, the 50 pounds helps me balance a little bit more. It helps me train on balance and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah, you find these little tricks. you know
I can see that.
so it's trying to read the chats, and um I guess Carnivore Cash has to be his granddaughter. So, so I guess he's leaving.
So,
it's nice meeting
Thomas,
you.
when was the last time you took any insulin? Yesterday? Last night?
Good question. Yesterday morning, I think,
Yeah.
or no? I'm trying. I mean, it's been it might be a full 48 hours. It might be a little over 48 hours. It might be
So
closer
if
to.
you've gone 48 hours with no insulin, you haven't taken the Victoza, and you're only peaking at 150.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know,
A
man.
lot of improvement. A lot of improvement.
That's
Definitely.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's not an indication, but I was looking at my.
Because Thomas, remember
Have you
this:
ever done this guy before?
the less insulin you take, the faster it's going to normalize. You know,
Yes.
like I know it sounds counterintuitive, but unless you're having really high spikes, to get that insulin out of your system is only, you know what I mean? If you can just keep the spikes like under 160 and not have to take insulin, you know, as long as you're not hypoglycemic or you're not spiking over 160, you know,
Right.
I would, you know, just monitor it really closely, you know, and just see.
Yeah. Well, like, have you ever you've seen one of these guys, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was looking at and I know it's not a full indication of my A1C, but I was just looking at the 90-day report that I have so far,
Yeah.
and it has me on my 90-day at 6.3 for my A1C.
Yeah. And I
Now
mean,
I know that it's probably going to be a little variable with that, but
think about that for a minute. If that's averaging 6.3 and your spikes are not really much higher than 150, you're almost like into a pre-diabetic kind of range.
that's what I mean. Yeah.
You know, where you might not even need any insulin. You know, because you're, you know, maybe just a little bit, you know, just a little here or there, just to like top you off a little bit. You know, if you spike, but you
Yeah.
know, if you have some kind of
Like
spike in the
more of
160s
a
or
sliding scale.
170s,
Yeah.
if you had something like that, I would definitely take the insulin. But if not, man, I would just say just eat clean carnivore and
Yeah.
just monitor the hell out of it.
Yeah. I
You know?
agree. I
Yeah.
agree. And I mean that whole concept just like I just never thought,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, you're
like
at the
you always
6 month
wanted.
mark, so it's conceivable that you're pretty close to being home free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
I
that 6
mean,
months on carnivore is a long time. That's a long time, especially
yeah.
if you're not cheating.
Yeah. I mean, whatever I do, I advertise, I promote, I say it on my channel, I don't keep anything back,
Yeah.
but, I mean, I mentioned the Oreo cookies and stuff like that, and my sister's Easter and all that stuff. I've mentioned all that,
Yeah, but
because
that's
I don't
a one
want to
time
keep,
deal. That's no big deal.
I don't want to keep things from anybody. I don't want to be that channel that's like, okay, you hear something and then next minute it's like,
Did you monitor on your CGM when you had those Oreos? What happened?
well, they went up because when I had the Oreos when it was like 53.
Oh wow!
So
Quack.
I did exactly what the purpose was, to get my sugars up just enough to be, because the thing is, I was so shaking,
Yeah.
from the low blood sugar that
Well,
I
you had to
needed
do something at that point.
Yeah, and I'm not.
Mango.
I mean, I do have like some glucose tablets just in case there's an emergency, but I never bring them with me. They're in my drawer. They're in my desk drawer.
Yeah.
I only use them in extreme emergency.
Yeah, but luckily, no matter where you
I don't even
go,
do that now.
no matter where you go, people are going to have duck food.
Right.
So you don't have to worry. If you go to somebody's house, they got cookies,
Yeah.
Orange juice.
Well, not this house.
Yeah.
Well, when I go there to visit, that's good, Rick.
Well, just imagine you'd have to go in my backyard. I got plenty of mangoes. I got oranges.
Yeah, bananas. Which bananas are always crazy to me.
Rick, you may have, if he falls to the ground, Rick, you're going to have to go outside, get some mangoes and give him some triage.
Well, I got bananas right now that are ripening. I'm going to make a video of cutting them down Looks like the rats are already eating them.
Well, you better get them before the rats get them.
Oh, I
Give
will.
me like a mango IV or something.
Yeah.
All right.
If you want your blood sugar up, you could have some of my mangoes. It'll get it up in no time.
Okay, it looks like we got somebody new. Moish Travels.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Oh, I've seen it before. Yeah,
So, hello, Moish.
it's carnivore.
I'm sorry if I mispronounced it, but that's pretty cool.
Is Moish a carnivore?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Okay, cool. Cool.
I just had 5 eggs, scrambled eggs, with 5 strips of thick cut bacon.
Okay. I didn't eat that much today. I had 4 burger patties. I didn't
Oh, wow.
have the eggs.
Where do you get your burger patties?
Walmart.
Oh, wow, really? Are they good? Which
Yeah,
ones do you get?
I just buy the box of the 7327.
How
And they
much
come
is the
in like
box?
box is like $28, but it's for 32 burgers.
Wow, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
Hate Walmart. Hate it.
And I do it. I do it. Well, it's convenient for me though, Rick. You know.
Fresco y Mas and Presidente.
You know, I buy usually about, depending on how I feel or what I have, I usually buy about 4 to 6 boxes.
Hey, Rick, Bravo has pork shoulder for $1.49.
Yeah, so does Presidente.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But I got it for 69 cents a pound 3 weeks ago at Winn-Dixie.
Yeah.
I bought
Well,
like 8
Did
of
you
them.
buy a bunch? You should have bought a bunch.
I bought 8. See, they only let you buy 1 a day, but their stores don't communicate. So you just go from one store to the other and they give it to you.
Oh, really?
Plus, I have 2 phone numbers anyway, so I can get it twice if I want.
Yeah, you got to stock up when they have that.
I do. That's why my freezer was full. Now I'm eating it because everything's expensive. And look, Bob's here.
I was gonna say that's what I'm putting on the thing so we can see.
You also
All
have
right.
to,
Here, and
Rick,
so
when
is
they have those
Aaron.
chicken drumsticks for 79 cents, you got to load up on them too.
I loaded. I went to Fresco y Mas just now, and
Yeah.
I loaded up. I got 3 10-pound bags.
Of what?
Wow.
Chicken drumsticks for 78 cents a pound.
Are they on sale right now?
They're on sale right now at Fresco y Mas. In fact, when I get off of this, I'm going to have heart attack chicken. I'm going to have a big 5-pound heart attack. Delicious.
Wow.
I love
That's a
heart
goal I'd like to do. That's definitely.
It's
So.
it's a shame that, like I was telling Tom, they spent all this money on these silly documentary movies instead of starting a ranch. We need to start a carnivore themed ranch. That way we have animals and ecotourism. It's like Lash with his retreat idea. That's a good idea. There's got to
is.
be a place where you can go and hang out and eat good and take it home with you. You know, it's like, hey, I like this lifestyle. It might catch on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually like Lash's idea because, you know, like there's a lot of people that like they just can't do they need that start. They need that
Right.
That help, that push a little bit.
Well,
And
It's
like,
hard for me.
They can't get their mind around it.
It's hard for me to understand that people would settle for crap when they can have the finest food. When you go to the store and you see them eat the bags of duck food and crap and rice and beans and blah, blah, blah. And then right in the back of the store, you got the meat section. That's where the good stuff is. And they're eating cereal, Kellogg's cereal, Special K, or whatever the crap is. I mean, seriously, how can anyone want that garbage? And it ain't cheap. And they
No.
still eat it.
Yeah, I got to tell you something, Rick. The prices on all that stuff is because of how many people are addicted. They're getting crazy prices now. Like breakfast cereal is $6-7 a box and then they've shrunk
Really?
down the box, and there's less in the box. You know, it's mostly air. So you might get 3 bowls of cereal for $7.
That's
So
ridiculous.
think about, you just bought for $7.90 10 pounds of drumsticks.
Yeah.
I mean, how much, now, I can't compare it for you how long that'll last to the normal person.
That's good for 2 meals.
I
It is.
know, but for your average person, it would last longer.
Well, that's true. But how many people ride a bike as much as I do, dig trenches, lift heavy objects? And I keep telling everybody, you've known me for decades. When was the last time I was injured? Did I have to get a knee replacement? Did I have to get back surgery? Did I have to get a shoulder replacement? No. No. Do I ever complain about a headache? You go to my house. Oh, you got an aspirin? Well, check my medicine cabinet. You open it up, it goes creak, and there's dust inside. There's an aspirin bottle there that's glass that says Bayer aspirin. I think it expired in 1985. And they're like, what is this? Well, that's my medicine cabinet. How many people do you know that live like that? Just me.
Well, and I've only gotten sick one time in the past 2.5 years since I've been doing carnivore. I got the flu for a week, and or like maybe 5 days, you know, and that's it in 2.5 years. Not a
Yeah.
sniffle. Otherwise, not even a sniffle.
Well, I sniffle all the time because I have a sinus defect. It's genetic. But you notice it's not as bad now as it is in the morning. I've been outside on that bicycle riding like a madman in the sun out there in the fresh air, and it all clears up. You
That's
know?
Right.
because as soon as you go in that moldy house, it's
Exactly.
mold. It's probably all mold. It's probably has nothing to do. If you literally left your house for 2 weeks, I'll bet you would be fine.
Oh, I would be. I've done it before. But the
Yeah.
funny thing is, you think about it, I live with chronic mold and dirt and all this stuff, and that's
And
the
yet you're
worst I've gotten.
still.
The worst I've gotten is a sinus issue. No lung issues, no breathing issues, nothing. And I can show you the mold around here. It is everywhere. Oh, look at that.
Gone
127.
down 3 points.
See?
Wow, wait, what is it? What is it?
It's at 127 now. It's 130 when I showed you before.
Oh my God!
Just sitting here.
It must
No
be all
insulin.
that how Rick and I relax you.
Yeah.
Two quacks. You're surrounded on the left and on the right by Quack, the original Quack and Quack Two.
Goose Fraba. Goose
You got
Fraba.
two of the premier carnivore superstars on your live stream with you.
Yes.
There you go.
I love it. Jackie's saying in the chats, she's saying about food prepping. Do you guys prep food at all or no?
Yeah, I put tallow in my cast iron pan. That's my
Okay.
prep.
Okay,
Oh.
so you don't like prep for the week, but you just prep for the
I-
meal itself.
Well,
I
you
prep-
know, I buy stuff in advance like Rick and put it in the freezer,
Yeah.
and then I defrost.
Yeah.
I defrost it the night before or whatever, or the day before or
Well,
whatever.
burgers
That's
I
it.
actually cook from frozen, believe it or not. I just put them in the air fryer, frozen, and
Yeah,
Off
I've
the
never
grill.
really do that. I do what Rick does. I cook everything pretty much in the cast iron pan.
okay.
Yeah. That's what I do. It's better that way. And the thing is, a lot of time I'm thinking prep is like you grab the duck or iguana and then you have to defeather it, gut it out, peel it. I guess that's
Well,
the
yeah,
prep.
that'd be a huge prep. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a lot of prep.
Well, actually, the duck prep takes a month because you don't want to eat them fresh from the canal or the parking lot. They're disgusting. They taste like dirt and
Oh,
iron.
so you like want it to settle a little bit?
You got to feed them all that tropical fruit. That's the secret. That's what the mangoes and the bananas and the other things are for. Give them that good fruit. Man, they get nice and fat and delicious.
Or maybe you find some bread in the dumpster at.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know me. I'm all about the dumpster. I've had them think I was homeless. I had people at the Winn-Dixie give me money because they thought I was homeless. It's happened more than once.
You should take it.
I do take it.
I was going to say,
You know
take
what
advantage of it.
And you know what I
Yeah.
do with the money? I go right back into the Winn-Dixie and buy meat with it.
Wow.
Some
Well,
guy gave me $1.
Did you really think anything else there, Peter?
Can you
that makes more
imagine
sense.
Rick's out there. He's chasing parking lot chicken, grabbing them, and people are thinking, man, he's so desperate. That homeless guy is
Oh my
literally
God.
chasing the chickens. He's starving to death.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? They think, oh my God, give him some money so he doesn't have to chase the wild fowl.
It's too bad you can't do a video of somebody giving you, like, you could like blur them, but just somebody giving you money because you're chasing chickens in the park.
I had somebody
Oh
give
my
me
God, that
20
lady gave
bucks.
him money.
I had somebody give me $20 because I rounded up like 5 ducks from the post office. They have a sign, don't feed the ducks. They're trying to get rid of the ducks. So I tell the lady at the post office, can I take them? And she's like, You'll take them? Absolutely. So I started stuffing them in cages. I put them in my truck. And when I go over to my truck, this lady comes out and she says, "Oh, I got something for you." I'm like, "Uh-oh. What is this? Code enforcement?" She gave me 20 bucks. Like,
What?
what are
But
you
why
giving
did
me?
she give you $20?
Because I took the ducks away.
Oh,
She was so happy because she worked in the post office. She hated the ducks. She'd go to the post office, step on the duck poop. Then the other lady there had to go to the hospital because she stepped in the duck poop, slid, and hit the back of her head, had a horrible concussion.
oh my
So,
God.
yeah, and it's at that post office over here. And they're always there because people feed them. They had, I don't know why they were feeding them, but there were a bunch of ducks. I just started grabbing them because
Well,
I
you should
asked
go
them.
over there more often then.
Well, they haven't been back since. I think they got the message, don't go to the post office. But I rounded up like 6 of them, and I brought them here. And they hung out here for a while, and I think 3 of them ended up in my kitchen, and the other 3, they just were laying eggs until they disappeared.
Wow.
So you see who's in the chats right now?
Oh, yeah, Mr. Arm
Caleb.
Wrestling Champion.
Yep.
Who, Caleb?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was on my channel too. He came in to comment.
So,
He's
Rick,
the
what if you created some type of avian cage that they couldn't fly away, like with a screen mesh or whatever, and you put them in there? At least that way you could breed them and
well,
you could collect the eggs.
I have that in the backyard. I do have that.
So how'd they get away? You said they got 3 of them got away.
Well, because I let them roam free. I only put them in the cage when it's fattening time. That's where that's my VIP room.
Oh,
It's a chain link fence. It has the top covered so the raccoons and everything can't get them. And then there's a little pond in there. It even has a little pump with a waterfall. And Mr. Ducky goes in there and he stays there for a month and he gets conjugal visits from the females.
yeah, because you want to be able to get eggs if you can.
That's right. And the thing is, you want to keep him happy because Mr. Ducky, he's going to be all alone. So I throw females in there every so often. And then, when they breed too much, I let them go. I put other females in there. You don't want them to breed too much or they'll have no feathers. The male will pull the feathers off their neck. So I got them in there. It's a duck paradise in there. Let me tell you, you walk in there, it's like, wow, got all kinds of tropical fruit. It's like in France, they force feed the birds to make foie gras. Well, I can make foie gras without force feeding. When I cut open Mr. Ducky, his liver is exactly like foie gras. I mean, exactly. The problem is you can't do it too long because he will die of a heart attack. So I learned my lesson. You have to put a motion sensor in there. So if he does have a heart attack, and they do sometimes, you can catch him before he's totally dead and decomposing. If you can get them right when they're having the heart attack, that's the best time, and the meat is going to be delicious.
The only difference between your ducky paradise and real paradise is the duck guillotine.
Yeah, well,
If not for that, it would be a true paradise.
but that's only in there for about part of the day.
Yeah.
I've only put that in there the day that they're going to come to dinner because that's part of being dressed for dinner. If you want to be properly dressed for dinner, you have to put your head in the duck guillotine,
Yeah.
remove your head because you can't. It's like people don't bring a hat into a formal event. They have to take it off. Well, in order for Ducky to come in the kitchen, his head has to come off.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's very effective. I mean, it happens so quickly, he doesn't even know what hit him.
I hope not.
Listen, it's a humane. Listen, look at the processing plants. Rick's way is more
Oh
humane.
yeah, no, I
Yeah.
have.
It's a little messier, and
Yeah.
you do have to clean up a big mess because there's blood everywhere. But it's all bushes in there. You got plants. I'm telling you, it's like one of these townhouses where they have the little outdoor patio. What you got? 124?
Yep.
124.
Yeah.
Wow. When did you eat? What time of day how long ago did you eat?
I ate like right around the time right before Mitch.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like while I ate during Mitch.
and what was the highest it got today so far?
Like 154.
That's it?
Yeah.
Wow. And that's with no insulin.
That's with no insulin.
And
Now, actually, it could have gone higher because I was on my phone with it, and my phone, the battery for some reason passed out, died, and so there's maybe like an hour that I didn't see what my numbers were, but
Mhm.
from what I saw, it was 154.
Can
But
you
I
believe,
worked last night too, so that might
can
be.
you believe when I did an experiment, I tested my blood sugar, it went as low as 57, and I felt just fine.
Yeah. Well, I think that once you get better and better, I think lower blood sugars are pretty much fine. That's my theory. I think one of the reasons why we feel it so bad, and I could be wrong, but this is just my theory. So keep that in mind. But I think the reason why we feel it so much is when we have a high blood sugar, and then all of a sudden it goes down like a rocket ship, or like I like to use the analogy like a rock in the water. You know, I think that we feel that. I don't think it's so much being low. I think it's just feeling that.
Well, what you're really looking for is more like stability, not real high highs and low lows to where
Right.
you're hypoglycemic and hyperglycemic, where you're like all over the place. And
Yeah.
you're starting to see that it's leveling out quite a bit.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're not going that
The,
low and you're not going that high.
yeah. The scale of diabetes, the scale of health is balancing out.
Yeah.
So yeah. Um,
Well, and you're
yeah.
lucky that your pancreas is still able to, is obviously able
Right?
to pump out, what it needs to
Yeah.
pump
That I
out.
didn't destroy it completely. Yeah.
Yeah, if you destroy
Exactly.
it completely, then you're screwed. Then you'd be on insulin the rest of your life.
Right.
Hmm.
But you're lucky that you caught it when you did. Had you not found us, oh my God, I can't even imagine where you'd be today.
I have a pretty good
I'm very
idea.
grateful. I'm very grateful.
Yeah,
And I really don't want to think about that. I mean, I can imagine,
yeah,
but it doesn't take a rock science to imagine it, but I really
yeah,
don't want to think about it.
Well, it's like both of you. I mean, things wouldn't be as fun without both of you here. Just think, if it was only me, what would I do? Just play with Milton? That's about all I can do.
Well, Milton,
yeah. I mean,
Milton's interesting.
they diagnosed me 2.5 years ago with full blown diabetes,
Yeah.
and I told you the story that on Dave Mack, the title of the video with Dave Mack is "Doctor Never Told Me." That's the title on the thumbnail.
For yours, yeah. I
Yeah,
forget what my
because
title was.
I had
Yeah.
gone in August of 2022 for a full annual physical, and then
Right.
he never said anything to me that I was diabetic until I came in, and it was the end of January 2023. So what's that? 6 months later, and I went in for just a thyroid, medication test. Like every 90 days, he adjusts my thyroid medicine. And while I'm sitting in the waiting room, the nurse says, "Oh, so how are you still taking this? Are you still taking that?" And I was like, "Yeah, whatever." Blah blah blah. And, "Are you taking this high blood pressure medicine?" And I was taking three different high blood pressure medicines, and I was taking omeprazole for acid reflux, and medicine for my depression, anxiety, ADHD. I was taking all this stuff, right? And then she says, "Oh, and what are you taking for your diabetes?" I said, "What are you talking about? I don't have diabetes." And she goes, "Oh, yeah, you do." I said, "Really? Since when?" And she said, "Oh, last August, you had a blood test. And your A1C was like 8 or something, or
Right.
8.5,
So
or I don't
no
even
one
remember."
thought to tell me this
And they
until
and they
now.
didn't say, and I was so angry. I'm like, "Well, no one told me." And so anyway, the doctor comes in. I started saying, "How can you not have told?" He goes, "Oh, we told you." I said, "No, you didn't." I mean, can you imagine? He's calling me a liar. "Oh, we told you."
Of
"Oh, no,
course,
no,
they
we
want to cover
told
their
you."
tracks. They want to cover their tracks. That's why.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. And
oh,
then he started
they
saying, "Well,
gaslight
we
you.
need to start, you on, diabetes medicine right away." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, give me 6 months. I'm going to figure this out with diet, exercise." I didn't even know what I was going to do, but I said I want 6 months, and then I'll come back, and if I can't fix it on my own, then I'll start whatever you want to do. And that's where that night I went home that very day in the afternoon. I was off that day from work. So I went right home and I went on YouTube and I typed in reverse diabetes, 2 words. And guess what comes up? Dr. Barry's video, reverse diabetes. That's the name of the video. It's been seen like 10 million times or something. And I watched it. I'm like, this can't be real. There's no way that you could just literally. And he was talking about keto, Thomas. He wasn't even talking
Right.
about.
It was like before. Yeah, it was before he went to carnivore.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he was just talking about keto, and so I'm just like, I don't know about that. So I started reading the comments, and after you start going down that rabbit hole, and you see all these hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, and all these hundreds of people were all saying the same thing. I reversed my diabetes. I had a A1C of 10. It's now, 5, and I'm off all my insulin and medicine. And then,
Right.
but then what really got me is they started talking about acid reflux, which I was on medicine for, and high blood pressure. My high blood pressure's gone, and I'm like, wait, and then arthritis, and I had terrible arthritis in my knees. I could barely walk. Oh, that went away in 3 weeks, and all this other shit. And I'm like, oh, my depression and anxiety went away. I'm like, I have that too. So it was just really weird. So I just decided I'll try it. And I started with dirty keto. Dirty keto. When I mean dirty keto, I was doing the keto treats. Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Keto,
No. Yeah.
keto bars and keto cookies and keto bread. And I was doing all, and that didn't last more than 2 weeks. And then I went clean keto for maybe another week. And then I Dr. Berry had a video, or I started watching stuff about carnivore. I don't know if it was Dr. Berry, but I think it was Dr. Chafee, and it was the plants are trying to kill you video.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
And I just said, you know what? I don't really like vegetables. Like, why? I never liked vegetables, so I just cut them out within a week. So now I'm 3 weeks in. Within a week, my arthritis in my knees was gone, literally gone. And that's when my depression and all that started to completely lift. It's 3 weeks in. Oh, look who it is, the monster. So yeah, that was my
That's
story.
not
And then
nice,
it
Peter.
just,
Just not say that
over
about Rick.
I don't know, 6 months in, I was off all my medicine completely. 3 high blood pressure medicines, the acid reflux medicine. But within 6-8 months, I was off all my psych meds for bipolar depression, anxiety, and ADHD. And I no longer had to take anything for my arthritis, because I would pop in at 3 Advils like every 8 hours.
I don't know. I don't even know what acid reflux feels like. I have no idea.
It's terrible.
It's not
Really?
pleasant.
Yeah, it's horrible. Feels like you know what it feels like? It feels like you're having a heart attack.
Oh, well, that's actually pretty good if you're going to have a heart attack.
Except you don't have the heart attack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the feeling of-
Is that what they mean
it's
by
not the quick
heartburn?
death from a heart attack. It's
Now
just,
what I do, Rick, I do this. Like I go, and I try and I think I got a heart attack, but I don't have it, but I want to. So I'm like, oh, here it comes. And then I'm eating all this fat and fatty meat, and I go, oh yeah, here it comes. and then it doesn't come.
Well, my problem is actually not really heartburn as much as it was gastroparesis.
Oh
Like,
man,
I actually,
worse.
yeah,
That's
I
where the
actually
food just stays in
like
your stomach,
daily.
and it's
If I ate too much, that's why I did the intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
I stopped eating
Really?
by a certain time of night, because I would fill up, and every night I like have a bucket and I'd like throw it up. Like,
yeah,
well,
because it's just sitting in your stomach, and then it starts decomposing in your stomach because it's not moving out.
it
What?
doesn't go down the esophagus all the
Yeah,
way.
it just sits in there.
Crazy.
Yeah, so it builds up to my throat, and
Yeah.
But that sounds like what happens when I eat too much food. I can't swallow anymore.
Yeah, but your stomach starts pumping it through, and eventually
yeah.
it's like a drain
Right.
pipe, and
Like,
the water
imagine the stomach
eventually
not
goes
doing
down.
that.
Right, right.
With him, it just stayed up.
It just stayed up, and then eventually it had to come
Had to
out.
come out.
One time
Yeah.
I went on the steak eating challenge. I must have eaten 6 pounds of meat, and I couldn't swallow anymore, and I was having trouble breathing. Like, oh no! But it
Did
was
you
back.
throw up?
I had to throw up a little bit, sadly. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
oh, what a waste. But then within an hour, it started going down. I don't think I ate for another 12 hours after that. It was crazy,
Which is a lot for you.
which is a lot for me because I eat 3 times a day. It's a shame. And I think one of the things is because I'm such an oddball, the majority of the really popular carnivores, they look at me and they're like, I don't want anything to do with this Addams family member. This guy's nuts.
Yeah.
He's over there killing iguanas and
Hey, Rick, you want to hear a funny story? So I remember the first time I heard Rick, and I think it was, it might have been on Nia's channel.
mm-hmm.
I think maybe, or it was something, and you were being interviewed, and you started talking about the iguanas and the parking lot chicken, and how you would cut the ducks' heads off, and I'm thinking, and I'm like, this
Little
guy
head
is
turner there.
crazy. And I remember thinking, this guy's nuts. Why would they let him on this channel? He's Either that, he's just making things up. Like this is just bullshit. You know, like there's no way he really does this stuff, right? He's just telling some crazy story to get clicks or something. And then I see him on another channel, same story, and I'm like, here he is, that quack again. That freaking quack. And at first, like the humor, I can understand how, because the humor, I think the initial reaction is probably not good, but then you start going, wow, this guy's really funny. Like this guy is hilarious, right, Thomas?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
once they see that, wow, he's actually a good guy. Like he's just different.
Well,
He's just really different.
I don't remember this far back, but did you see Kelly, my niece's face when we told her that you eat iguana?
Oh, I know. Hey, let me tell you how bad it's gotten. Let me tell you how close to Rick I've gotten. I've been
Okay.
sending him photos of lizards.
Uh-huh.
And tell him about the African. Which was the one? The African.
Peter's African lizard.
Yeah, there was this one has an orange head and an orange spot on his tail.
Okay.
A beautiful lizard. I mean, absolutely. Wasn't that a gorgeous lizard?
Yes, I see them all the time.
They got beautiful coloring. Yeah, I mean, it's...
Yeah, and then like I see all these different, and then my girlfriend had this gigantic iguana on her fence. How about that one, Rick? The size of that sucker.
That's a good meal right there.
That was a full-grown monster iguana. My girlfriend was so scared. You should have seen her. She was like, "Oh my God, what do I do?" I said, "Nothing." I said, "Let me call my friend Rick and we'll take care of that for you." And she goes, "What's he going to do with it?" I said, "Eat it."
Just have your fork and knife ready.
She thought I was kidding. I was like, "No, I'm serious. He'll eat it."
You can see, if you look at my videos, you'll see iguanas in my kitchen.
Yeah. No, she thought I was kidding when I said he would eat it.
Well, I think what Peter says is correct, because people look at me and they're like, this guy can't be for real. This guy's nuts, you know?
Well, I thought you were joking around. I thought it was a shtick. You know, it was all part of your act or something.
It ain't no act.
You mean the duck guillotine is real?
Of course it is. And so's parking lot chicken. I actually have one video where I grabbed the iguana in my front yard by the tail. I don't know if you saw it, but...
No, I don't remember that one.
I think I called it Got One.
You don't the tails come off?
Not on an iguana. They're pretty big. The little lizards, the tails come off.
Yeah.
Right. And the little lizard probably wouldn't be worth much.
I know. The lizard.
No, you got to get a big one.
But you know, it's like squirrel hunting. People say, "Oh, there's no way you could eat them nasty things." I said, "Well, I got friends that raise mangoes and avocados, and they are a pest from. They'll ruin everything. They'll ruin 50% or more of the fruit. That's thousands of dollars in the toilet. But all you got to do is shoot them and fry them, and it solves two problems at once. You get rid of the pest, and you feed yourself. Oh, and there's a third thing: no chemicals."
Oh, right. That's true.
And that's the opposite right there.
Now, Rick, the bright green ones, the big giant iguanas that are bright green, are they different than the ones that are kind of that tan color? Are those different species?
Depends on how big. There's a lizard called the Cuban anole, which is not as big as an iguana. It's maybe a couple feet long, maybe 3 feet max, but it's skinnier.
Right, and is it bright green?
They can be bright green.
Because the ones I see by the intercoastal, they're usually these super bright green, and they're thinner than a regular iguana. They're long, and stuff, but they're thinner.
Yeah, they're not as like bulky.
And that's what I'm thinking. Next time I see one of those big green ones, I'm going to send you a picture, because I don't know if that's a regular iguana or the Cuban variety.
Well, the Cuban lizards generally eat insects. The iguanas eat mostly plants, so they have to be bigger. Generally, with those lizards, the bigger ones, well, I mean, obviously the predators like gators and crocodiles are bigger, but with the plant-eating lizards, they have to be bigger because their digestive system has to be a little bit different structure to allow them to extract from that plant material. And the thing about iguanas, they're basically sugar burners, so they're going to concentrate on the fruit and the flowers. That's where the sugar is. They generally don't eat leaves that often.
Oh.
I mean, they say birds and reptiles are related, so it makes sense.
Yeah,
well, I'll tell you this:
the dinosaur came
the
from
green iguana, this green one, One of them, I chased it, and it swam in the pool like like went straight to the bottom.
Yep.
Like those suckers are incredible swimmers.
That's how they get away. That's why you got to use a bow, a crossbow with a reel. That way, it's like bow fishing. It's like the rednecks go bow fishing. So when you shoot them and you get them and they go straight in the canal, then you can reel them in little by little. Otherwise, you'll lose them.
Yeah.
They'll die in the water and they'll be gator food.
Oh man, what a loss of food.
Exactly. Especially with the big ones. You got a 4-foot iguana. You don't want that getting away.
No way.
That's enough for a meal and a half. They're really
How much
good.
meat is on a 4-foot iguana? How many pounds?
Of usable meat?
Yeah.
8 or 9 pounds sometimes, depending on the size of the legs and the tail. I've gotten 9 pounds out of an iguana.
Well, that's a lot of meat.
That's good for 3 iguana meals.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. So, Erin's saying that she only gets heartburn when she eats slow cooked roast.
Oh, I don't get heartburn at all anymore.
The only time I've had heartburn is when I went plant-based. When I was a kid, I used to have a lot of digestive issues. I'd get stomach aches and headaches and gas. And then, when you feel like you're inflating and it starts to hurt, and then you're looking for a place to fart, that was always a nightmare.
Did you say, Rick, did you see my comment on Mitch's video? Someone said something about farting. I said, man, I'm so mad at carnivore. I haven't had a good fart in years.
I see that.
Yeah, I said a weird comment too. I just said that my farts are gone with the wind. So
yeah.
My dad was the one that always farted. My parents slept in separate rooms because of it. My dad was a health food nut. And all night it was like the snoring sounded like a chainsaw, and then there was the farting. So,
You know what? Since I've been with my girlfriend, I've been carnivore. So she's never heard me pass gas ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess I've never heard her do it either. It's kind of weird. I'm just waiting, where I make a mistake and little oops. And she goes, what was that? Like, because I've never, it doesn't happen when you're a carnivore. Not really.
Right.
And even if you do, it's like barely anything. Rare. No one can hear it really.
When you eat all those plants, at least from my experience.
And that's where the odor comes from too, all the plants.
Remember, it's all the fermentation, and it's just like anything that's fermenting in your gut, it causes gas. and smell. Ew.
Go in the elevator and it's bad.
You know what's amazing? It seems like when people go into elevators, it does something to them to where they have to fart. I don't know why it is, but every time I go in the elevator, I hear, and I'm like, "Oh, come on! Dude, why couldn't you wait?" They love to do it in the elevator.
Mashe Travels. He says my heartburn was so constant due to eating high carbs, sugar foods, and etc., which was what we've been saying.
There you go.
But now, after being on carnivore for 26 days. So that's pretty impressive that it's all gone now. So after only
26 days and the heartburn's gone? I guess that's about right, because it took me about 3 weeks and the heartburn was gone.
Yeah, I think my heartburn pretty much, my biggest problem, like the heartburn went, and I have to contribute that to also the intermittent fasting, because I think if I, by stopping eating at night and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But still, it wasn't like fully gone, and we all know that like about a month into it, I got rid of the omeprazole.
And, not only that, the other thing,
I'm still
and I think Rick mentioned this today, I don't use toilet paper anymore. Like, I don't really need it. I wipe, but there's nothing there. It's like, it's like.
Well, I had that bathroom issue, so I kind of had to use it, but
but how's it been lately?
I'm fine now. I still go, but not like I was then.
I use some soap,
and I got great recommendations. I go off the dairy, including the butter, for a while, and I'll I'll put the butter back in eventually, but I'll wean it back in. I'll slowly introduce it back in, but I'm just going to wait.
But you're still eating higher fat, right?
Yeah, I do.
You don't want to lower the fat too much, because that's where most of the healing and energy comes from.
Yeah, no, the butter is really the only thing, but I add tallow to it or ghee,
Right.
Even though ghee is technically butter,
And you
it's
were trying, you were doing
clarified.
cold butter and still having the bathroom issues
I
with
was doing cold butter. I was doing it exactly the way that you do with your
yeah,
steaks and stuff.
and that was giving you bathroom issues?
Well, I have a feeling it wasn't really causing me the bathroom issue. It was more the dairy in
I
itself,
think it
like
was the dairy.
But that's why I figure it's better for me just to cut out everything and then just
You could
reintroduce it.
try and reintroduce the cold butter, and I'll bet you'll have no problem if
Yeah,
you cut
I
the
think
dairy
like
out.
I figure I'll just do it for June. June's almost over anyway.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
do it for June. Maybe have it at the Boston meetup. That way I can guarantee that I make it to Boston without any problems.
Right, right, right.
And
Or wait till you get back. Wait till you get
yeah,
home.
like I think I might try what Lewis did. Try the Lion diet for like a little bit and see how that does for me. So
Yeah,
you
I
know,
tried lion very briefly. I just, you know what? I need more variety, and I love eggs.
but
So
you tried it, right?
I
And you
did,
figured
but I
out
only
it
did it for
didn't
like a
work for
week,
you.
and then I didn't even
Yeah.
last a week.
Well, I think it's still pretty good because you tried it, you gave it a shot, and it just didn't work out for you. You figured out that
The
you did the
problem is
NH1 on it, and you had
without the butter and the eggs, it's hard to keep your fat high.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I kind of like I might not go strict lion. I kind of like I think Carrie Mann's doing a bee lion
Well, with
where
the
it's
butter, yeah,
where
beeline is
but
butter and
but
fat and
and,
meat.
and then so I
Yeah,
might
you
do
should
the
try
bee
that
lion.
when you get home. I would wait till you get back though. Don't do
Yeah.
anything to jeopardize Boston.
No, I'm not. So I mean, and Alia suggested these guys here um, to help with the diarrhea and stuff like
What is
that.
that?
It's Bethmine just until I'm like totally
Oh,
totally out of the woods.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I got them in case. I might bring a few with me to Boston.
I would just throw it in the bag.
Yeah, it's a pretty big thing. So I could probably just go with like just a few pills. But it's only one a day, so
Yeah, no, you
just
take a
bring like
Ziploc
5 with
bag,
me.
Thomas, and just throw them in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Whatever.
got
Like,
the two. I got the 2 suitcases. So one bag and one suitcase, like one backpack.
yeah, I never bring the whole bottle of anything. I usually just take a Ziploc bag and I put
Yeah.
in whatever, just a little bit.
So we got another person on. Broken Carnivores here.
Oh, that's Kelly.
Yeah.
What's up,
So
Kelly?
Milton, no. Milton. My goodness. You don't.
Does Milton have fleas?
I don't think so. But boy, Milton is super friendly. Look at this.
he ended up not having the fleas because I thought you said on
I
Saturday
didn't see any. I was combing him. I didn't see any, but sweetie. What? It's a crazy cat. Look at that cutie.
He loves his daddy.
He does. I'm telling you, all my cats always end up being super attached to me.
Well, if you treat them right, they're going to be. Like.
Yeah, I treat my pets really nicely, and I give them good food, not duck food.
And he likes the guy that has a towel in his hair.
Yeah, well, yeah.
What
What a silly cat. I don't know if it's normal for a cat to be this friendly.
Yeah, I love my cats, but they're all kind of aloof. They're not nasty or anything like that, but they were always like sort of like, I'll go to you when I want to. Okay.
Not mine. They'll follow me everywhere.
Yeah, it's cute.
Right?
It's cute. They probably think you're his mom.
Could be. I don't know. My neighbor found him in the street last year, and now he's a house cat. Cutie. Yes, you are.
Do you let him outside?
Only when I'm watching him. I don't let him by himself. Don't want him getting hurt. I don't have money for a vet, so got to keep him protected. Right, buddy?
Well, mine. I did bring out, but there's a reason why I did it. I found out one time that if you like let them go, you can't. It's like cruel to like keep them in the house, and so I just kind of like kept with that. And what happened was, my roommate at the time, I was living in a house with like about 5 roommates, and the one roommate, it wasn't really my cat. I inherited it from somebody else, and he decides one day to let the cat out. even though he was instructed not to. And he just opened the door and let him out. And like 3 weeks later, the cat came back.
Oh.
He had a scratch on his face and everything like that. I mean, he was fine, but
So
he was a young
I had
cat.
the exact thing happen. I was living with roommates when I was at college, and I lived with these five crazy girls. And one of the girls let my cat out, and he got hit by a car,
Huh. That figures.
and that was the end of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was lucky, obviously, 3 weeks, yes, but he came back, and then after that, and we know exactly, like when he would leave the house, we knew exactly where he went. He'd always go like in the storm drain and just hide. And one day I'm like going to my car because I lived in Trenton, so I don't know if you know anything about Trenton or not, but it's
I've
a
been to
lot of
Trenton.
it was like a lot of parallel parking and stuff. And we just one time parked. I was like in my car getting out from work, and he's like, I hear the sound.
What was it? What was the name of that really famous tomato pie place in Trenton?
Oh,
Tomato pizza.
was it Vinny's? There's a few of them, so it's kind of hard to really.
Yeah, I forget what it was called. It was the
Yeah,
best. We
yeah.
used to go there from Philly just for these pizzas. Incredible.
Whereabouts in Trent did
So
you?
when you come over the bridge, the main bridge,
Mhm.
Trenton makes what the world takes
Yeah,
or
yep.
whatever, and you go through Trenton and go almost to the other end of Trenton. It was down that way, on the other end of town,
Okay, yeah.
down there.
I lived closer. Where I lived was, where like Liberty Street is in South Broad.
Yeah,
I lived in that area.
and there was that steak place by the train station or whatever, steakhouse
Yeah,
in Trenton. I forget what it's called, Pete's or something.
yeah.
Pete
Pete's
Luger's.
Steakhouse, yeah, or something.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that whole road. I mean, it was kind of like before me going there. But my uncle, my mom's friend's husband, he was an asshole, so I really shouldn't call him uncle. But he was telling about how Chambersburg was called Restaurant Row.
Oh wow.
There was like a restaurant like every like few like restaurant, and there was a house, then there was a restaurant. I was like,
Oh wow.
so it's gone down even more.
What's it now?
121.
Oh my God, it's just plummeting.
Yeah. I have to admit, it did go up to 125, and because it does that, it goes like, and then, and then, and it just keeps on doing that. And I totally agree with you. I will be. Meathead just joined us.
Hey, meathead.
Meathead. I will be totally shocked if I am not off all my insulin by September.
I think it's going to be sooner. I mean, you're barely taking it, and you're
Yeah,
not even going over 160.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, what?
I
So what's the point of taking it if you're not spiking? It's not
yeah,
spiking. What's the point?
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
the less you take it, the sooner you'll be off it. I can promise you that,
Yeah,
because that stuff's toxic.
it's
You know.
just um.
Obviously, if you do spike higher, you need to take some.
Oh,
But
of
if you
course,
don't
of course.
spike, I would be screw
Yeah.
it. I'm not taking it.
I mean, I think at the very least, I don't know what I get tested again in July.
Yeah.
July 10th, I get my blood work done, and then I see the endocrinologist on the 14th, and I see the primary doctor on the 24th. Now, if it wasn't for my disability benefits, I probably would be like, okay, I see the endocrinologist. Why the heck do I need to see primary? Because what's the primary going to do? They're not going to give me any advice that, all they're going to do is try to stuff statins down my
Yeah,
throat.
but you could be on disability just because of you don't have any toes left. You don't have to be diabetic to be
Well,
disabled.
no,
Be
no, I'm not saying that.
disabled
I'm saying
because of your toes.
well, no, that's what I mean. Part of the
Mhm.
I have to see a primary doctor in order to
Oh,
keep my, yeah.
oh,
That's
okay,
what
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean. It's not because of diabetes or the toes. It's more like, like I have to definitely, can't keep on canceling appointments with the primary doctor.
Right. No, you got to do whatever. Yeah, you got to
Right.
do that.
You know.
But my point is, if what I told my mom is same thing. Because I said, Mom, you're either going to do this keto. She's doing keto. And I
Okay.
said, but here's the thing, it's not optional. You start doing this, you have to
You have to
start
stay with
lowering
it.
your insulin because it's you're And she did. She started getting like so low because she was shooting the same amount of insulin. I'm like, Mom, you got to tell your doctor. This is not optional. I'm not telling you that I am going to continue to eat this keto, and my goal is to get off the insulin, and I need you to work with me. I need you to work with me. This is not where you're going to fight me and tell me to match my carbohydrates with my
Right.
insulin, which is what they want to do. They want
Which is ridiculous if you
I know,
think
but
about Yeah.
that's how they're trained, because they think, oh, this person can never change their habits, their food habits. So what
Yeah.
I've got to do is match this sugar intake with the insulin. But they don't realize, well, what if I stop taking the sugar?
Hmm.
Right? I mean, what if I stop this car? They go, well, you can't do that. Basically, well, you can't do that. Yeah, you don't think I can stop eating sugar and carbs, but I can. So you need to work with me to
Yeah.
help me get off this insulin. This is not otherwise I'm getting a different doctor. There's lots of endocrinologists out of there who will
Yeah.
help me.
Yeah. I agree.
It's not optional.
I think we forget. I don't mean we as in we, but just we as in society. We forget that the doctor works for us. It's not the other way around.
Yeah, you
And
got to make
you
sure
know,
they understand. This is a partnership.
I
You're
mean,
not my
there's so many
boss.
people are
You are
afraid of
not
the
my
doctor.
boss. Okay, I
Yeah.
respect you, but you're not my boss. And there's lots of people out there that do what you do. And if you're not going to work with me as my partner, okay, and help me get off this insulin, I'm going to stop with the sugar and the carbs. That's what I'm going to do. And what that's going to do is it's going to drive down my blood sugar. So I've got to start lowering the insulin, or I'm going to be in hypoglycemia, and then you're going to have a real problem.
Yeah.
You, the doctor, by not
Um,
getting my insulin down.
so we're ending this on a pretty good note. So I'm glad you guys came on. But according to the thing, the broadcast is going to end in 5 minutes. So actually a little bit less. So thank you, Peter. Thank you, Rick, for both
Yes.
coming on. Thank you, Milton, for coming on and allowing Rick to
sleep.
come on. You know,
Cutie.
so I did a little bit longer than I was going to today, but I'm glad because this was a great show. So
How many people did you get watching at the peak?
right now I'm at 18.
Oh my God! Wow.
Once you put the quacks on the show, that's when people start watching.
It drives them in just like a duck pond.
It's starting.
Yeah. They think there's duck food here.
I have a hard time admitting it, but I'm growing a little bit. It's like a little seedling that's starting to go up.
The thing is, growing isn't the main thing. Yeah, great. You might have 100,000 or 200,000 subscribers, but how many of them do you actually know? If you maybe 50 people and that's it. I forget what that rule is. I'd rather have a small channel like mine with the quality people than just having thousands and thousands of people to try to sell stuff to.
Well, not only that, he's really good looking. I'm ugly.
That is true. Better looking than me too.
You always hear how
he just goes right into agreeing with you, Peter. It's like, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
He's better looking than me, that's for sure.
Yeah. So, sorry, Lexus, we're actually going to be closing down now. So you came just in time for me to say hello.
Which is good because I got a heart attack waiting for me in the kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to cook some more burgers, actually. I'm
going to be putting an auxiliary battery in my E350. I have a 2015 E350, Rick. And it said auxiliary battery malfunction came up. So I looked on YouTube. It's pretty easy. It's in the trunk under where the tire is. It's just 3 bolts. It's the 2 bolts for the black and the green and the red, and just a bolt that holds the bracket, and that's it.
I drive an E350, but that's a Ford van.
I know.
It's got an auxiliary battery under the door.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
What does the auxiliary battery drive?
On this it's a diesel. It's just to increase starting power.
But in my car, what is it? It just does like the key start, the push button start and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's for the computer system. That's for, all the modules. That's like a backup power source.
So it must be now running off the main battery because it's saying that the auxiliary is malfunctioning.
Yeah, because the problem is if it's all electronic, you won't be able to get in or do anything if the main battery goes down.
Whoop.
Yep.
Okay. So
Can you see me?
I can see you. You kind of
You
like
see
went
me?
down and up.
Can
All
you see
right.
me?
So yes, can you see me?
I
Yeah.
see you.
Okay. All right. So everybody, like my new ending, I put in. I don't know if anybody likes it or not, but live, love, and heal by eating meat. All right.
There you go. Keep
See
on
you guys
quacking.
later.